For many years, Maine held a northern New England tennis tournament that drew people from all over greater New England. And it was held on Squirrel Island the week before the national doubles in Squirrel and in Longwood. Oh no, it was after the national doubles, but the week before Forest Hill singles. So our friends in Boston who played in Longwood used to get some champion players nationally to come up and play on these little courts over here on Squirrel Island, and we'd put them up in families' homes for a week. Well, it was a great to-do because one time we had the English Davis Cup team and we had the number 6 national tennis player in the world come to Squirrel Island for a week of partying and playing in our local tournament. And everybody loved it up there because they were part of a family of Squirrel Island. And one time Sledge, who was the number 6 player, went back to Forest Hills and was warming up for the semifinals at Forest Hills with a Squirrel Island t-shirt on. Nothing bigger than Squirrel Island when he's out there. And everybody said, "Where's that?" He said, "It's a special place that we players like to play." So that was the beginning of the history of a good time at Squirrel Island. And we used to have a natural group that would show up from the locals. There were about 10 guys who were very good tennis players who would reserve place because we only had a draw for 32 people. We didn't have a big draw like 64. And the same 10 or 12 guys would come every summer, and one of them was Henry Salon. Now, Henry Salon was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He's the number 1 squash player in the world. He and his mother escaped the Germans of France. In France, they ran across a boat guy that took him to England, and his mother and he came to America. And he was such an athlete that he got into an excellent private school and got into Wesleyan. And he was the star athlete because he was the number 1 tennis player in New England for 20 years. And Henry would come to this little tournament. And I played him maybe 100 times, and I think I beat him maybe 5 or 6 out of the 100. Henry had the most wonderful ability to control anything that was like a tennis ball or a squash ball. And Henry would come up here. One of the great stories I love to tell is we had party games in the biggest bedroom on the farmhouse that was allotted to the tennis players. And we're in there saying, "Let's start the party." We had a thing called, what the hell was the name of it? Koozies. And it was a thing with string. Everybody gets a hunk of string with a piece of chalk on it. And if you don't get your koozie out of the circle in time, you have to put some money in the kitty. So we're all playing this, and Henry shows up. And guess what? He's dating Hilda Mason. Now, Hilda Mason was a head coach at Harvard for the swim team, and she got the job teaching swimming up here on Squirrel. So sure enough, Henry's got Hilda Mason. So he said, "We'll be a little bit late for your parties." So we're in this one bedroom. Come in, now come on, now look at this. Shout it. Look who's here.
Just keep talking. You know how to do that.
So Henry goes into the next room, and we're trying to keep our eyes on the game, and we can hear 2 twin beds being closer together, scraping across the floor, so there'll be one big bed. And Bill Rockwell says, "Did anybody hear anything?" He goes, "No. We don't hear anything, do you?" "No, nobody heard it." Boom, 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 yeah, the bed's getting mowed together, and everybody's going, "I never heard anything." No, it's nice and peaceful here on Squirrel. Well, that's one of my stories. I'll let you cut it off. Look at this, it's coming over.
Yeah.